Influencers don't care if you go broke. And this is probably obvious, or maybe it isn't, but in an age of parasocial relationships and mass media, it's important to remember how little influencers and celebrities care about your well-being and financial futures. And even more so today with social media and just being exposed to celebrities and influencers talking to us, or commercials telling us to buy the latest fashionable and trendy item. So in this video, we're talking about how influencers and celebrities use that relationship with you to make money, and why it's so important to make sure that your financial well-being comes first. And the big question is, why is this even happening? And it's all because of these parasocial relationships we form with influencers and celebrities. A parasocial relationship is basically a one-sided emotional connection where one party extends all the energy, interest, time, and money into the other person, all while that person doesn't even know they exist. So it's the word and reason why so many people know all about the members of BTS, or whatever the latest life update of Megan Thee Stallion is. And influencers and celebrities usually lean into these relationships because it helps strengthen their connection between them and their fans, even though it's really just one-sided. If you look closely at your favorite celebrities, you can see how they manufacture this intimate relationship. Just like The Rock trying In and Out for the first time every few years, or how One Direction or BTS has these music videos where it appears you're right there with them. And you can really see how celebrities will lean into it even more so by using certain phrases, calling you part of their family, or using the word we an awful lot to make it feel like you're a big part of their lives. And it's all very much to boost their sales. These parasocial relationships are great for celebrities and influencers because it builds a very loyal and dedicated fan base. And that means there is this continuous support and trust, which can then be leveraged to line their pockets with more money. And the more trust and devotion you have for an influencer, the more likely you'll spend your hard-earned money on them. Whether it be movie tickets, merchandise, a course, music, or even a crypto fund. And a good example is that these artists can charge insanely high fees and fans will still flock to see them perform in concert. And you saw this semi-recently with Taylor Swift and Ticketmaster a few years ago. And people will still buy at these prices because of that parasocial relationship that's been cultivated. And it's so strong that people feel like they know Taylor Swift or BTS, like they can be their friend or that they have their well-being and best interest at heart. But the thing is, ultimately BTS, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, they're a brand, a business, and that the goal of any business is profit. And that's why it's so important for us as consumers, with really our own well-being, to look past the parasocial relationships when we're being advertised to. And so many of us tend to put celebrities and influencers on this high pedestal and glorify them. We make them into demigods that can do no wrong, and automatically give them some kind of credibility for their expertise in a certain subject, or a figurehead for inspiration, or some kind of role model. And it makes us even more prone and vulnerable to being sold things that we don't even really need and aren't even really that great for us. It also doesn't even need to be a tangible or a material product like a t-shirt or some makeup line. And sure, you're being pushed into crypto or some cosmetics, but you're also being indirectly sold a lifestyle, an image of hyper overconsumption and consumerism. They want you to think that if you emulated and copied their lifestyle, that it would bring you the same happiness and success just like them. But the reality is that it'll just bring you financial despair. If these celebrities and influencers see an opportunity to make some money, they will eat it up, no matter what it costs you. Whether it be Hawaii fires, crypto pump and dump schemes, Dr. Oz pushing some marketing scheme for supplements, or the Fire Festival. And if you look closer, you can see a very obvious number of unnecessary products being shoved into your face by TikTok stars, Instagram influencers, YouTubers, movie stars, and pop singers.
Get the BTS meal at McDonald's.
And the idea here is that we just need to face reality, that these folks that perhaps so many of us look up to aren't looking out for us, and that they never will. And we really shouldn't expect them to care about any of our well-beings for that matter. Because what it really boils down to is that they don't care about our financial futures, just the money that is in your savings accounts. So we really need to focus on our own decision making, and that's really by improving our financial health. And it's really more than just budgeting, learning about your 401k and how much money you can make for retirement through compound interest. And don't get me wrong, these are all extremely important, but there is another level to it, and it really begins with our psychology and our mindset. It's the emotional side of things, because as much as money is a number, it can be a very emotional relationship. And it's really influenced by the world around us and how we navigate through those influences. And like with anything, we have to be mindful of our purchases, even as they relate to celebrities and influencers that we glorify. Our relationships with influencers is just simply something for them to monetize and make money. So the more we trust them, the bigger brand deals they can get, and therefore the more products that they can sell. So it's important that we are critical and mindful of influencer messaging and what we're being sold. And going back to an earlier point, sure we're being sold courses, cosmetics, and barbecue sauce, but we're also sold a dream and an aspirational lifestyle. We are being sold the idea of being absolutely beautiful or getting rich quick. We are continuously pushed this narrative of these big ideas and dreams, whether it's being rich overnight, extremely thin, beautiful, or just cool. And you see this over and over again everywhere you go. And when FTX pushes more into that dream, and that all you need to do is get in, you'll be more encouraged to put your hard-earned money into FTX so that you can live that lavish dream.
You in?
You know what? I'm in.
If Tom Brady is in, then you're in too. And it doesn't take long to look around and see all the commercials, advertisements, and all your favorite celebrities wearing that new sneaker or some new cosmetic line. And take the beauty industry for example. Everyone looks glammed up in their perfect photos, whether it be flawless skin or voluminous hair. All of these are intended to subliminally tell us that if we also buy these things, that we will also be gorgeous or successful. We are constantly told what we should look like and what we should compare ourselves to, which is this far-fetched fantasy. And for a lot of people, that turns into insecurity and that they're not good enough and therefore more likely to buy into this lifestyle that's being sold. And imagine a world where we're not pushed a narrative and these aspirational lifestyles. If we were never told that we needed to be more beautiful, skinnier, richer, I'd like to believe we'd be happier and less likely to throw our hard-earned money away to these brands that claim to add value to our lives. And there wouldn't be this constant pressure to strive and materialize your life with things to just make you feel better about yourself. So many of us fall into these sale pitches because it's so easy to fall into this dream that's been conjured and fabricated by commercials and advertisements. That's only deepened by our parasocial relationship with influencers that so many people revere. And this is the perfect formula for spending money extremely poorly. And as much as personal finance is about budgeting or investing, and perhaps even more importantly, is that there's a human element to it and therefore a psychological and emotional one. And it's one of the reasons why you see so many people are living paycheck to paycheck or are buried in credit card debt. What makes or breaks your 401k or how much is in your savings is more so your emotions and your relationship with money. Because instead of having a strong relationship with our finances, instead we put that emotional connection towards celebrities that don't even know we exist. So we really need to consider the narratives that we're being sold and how they shape our money habits, and then I think we'll all be happier and better off financially. And it all boils down to these influencers selling us these products and lifestyles. They don't care if you don't have anything in your Roth IRA or don't have enough money for food. They don't care. So instead of looking out for them, we need to look out for ourselves, our own lives, and our own financial well-being. And one of the best ways to combat all of this is just to question everything and not just take things at face value. That goes for our government, the news, and people selling you things in general. And I think it's actually healthy to question or even critique everything even if you do end up at the same place you began. But what it does mean is that you're asking yourself, is it really worth it? That you're doing your research and being mindful instead of just accepting everything around you as it is. And in this particular case, ask yourself why an influencer wants you to buy this thing or think in a certain way. What do they stand to benefit from me? And speaking of me, you should question me too. Because at the end of the day, I'm also just a person on the other side of the screen who's also just sharing his beliefs and perspectives on things. And maybe they are different from your own, and that is 100% completely okay to disagree. Even if your stance doesn't change, that's okay too. Questioning everything is really a great way to grow and learn, especially when it comes to our own lives and our finances. Because at the end of the day, the only person who will look out for you is you. So be selfish and always put yourself first before any kind of influencer. And that is the end. I just want to say thank you very much for watching, and let me know what you think about all of this with influencers pushing products into our faces. What do you think about parasocial relationships? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoy videos like this and want more, please make sure to like and subscribe so it helps with the algorithm. I think you'll really like the next video about consumerism, so check out the next video about how there are more ads and commercials all grasping for our attention in our world of consumerism.